Hi guys, Mark here. Well, we're here today at Bournemouth Kawasaki and their all new cafe as well. We'll have a look around that in a bit. Right, so just going to show you the new Bournemouth Kawasaki cafe. It's all very nice in here. Hi Pete. There's Pete, the owner. Yeah. Very nice. So there you go guys. But today we are taking out the all-new 2022 Z650Rs. Stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Well, hi guys, Mark here. Welcome along today to a review on the all-new 2022 Kawasaki Z650Rs. Let's have a look round, just run through the specifications in the usual fashion. Many thanks to Bournemouth Kawasaki here in the south of England for lending me this bike today. So the price on these, you've got the grey and the green colours, which are £7,799. and the black comes in a little bit cheaper at 7,649. So the engine on these is a 649cc double overhead cam 8 valve liquid cooled, putting out 67 horsepower at 8,000 rpm, and good torque on this, 64 newton meters at 6,700 rpm. And I must just quickly point out guys, if you see anything that looks like rust, it's not rust, it's protective grease that Bournemouth Kawasaki puts on just to keep the rust at bay. So it's not rust on the bolts here, okay? So this is the tried and tested parallel twin that's been used in like the Z650 or the Ninja 650. It traces its roots all the way back to about 2005 in the ER6. It can be made A2 license compatible as well, Euro 5. Fuel consumption on these, they're very frugal little engines. 4.5 litres for 100 kilometres, that equates to around about 65 miles per gallon. We've got a 12 litre fuel tank. Should give a range of around about 130 miles before the fuel light comes on. The seat on this is quite tall and it's quite wide as well. It's 820mm seat height. They do a low seat option if you need it a bit lower. But have a look at me on the bike for a sec. I'll put in a quick cutscene for you. Bear in mind I'm 5'7" tall, 30-inch inside leg. I weigh about 75 kilos. Just see how I fit the bike, and then you can compare to yourself. Weight on these, not too bad, 187 kilograms wet weight. Tyres on these, we have Dunlop Sport Max Road Sport 2, got a 120 on the front, 17-inch wheel, and a 160 on the rear, 17-inch as well. Got twin discs up front with twin piston Nissan calipers, giving good stopping power. ABS as always these days. Single disc on the rear. Six-speed gearbox on these. We've got an assist and slipper clutch, so it's got a really light, nice clutch action. Got LED lights all round and LED indicators. Nice, simple, conventional front suspension, non-adjustable, and a single monoshock tucked neatly up in there as well. Service intervals on these are very good. 7,500 mile service intervals. And we've got a 15,000 mile valve check service as well. And as I said, these come in green, this grey and black. I must admit guys, that's got a really nice kind of retro style look to it. I do like that. Anyway, let's do the test ride. Okay guys, Kawasaki Z650Rs test ride. I'm looking forward to this one. I do like these retro style bikes. They're quite easy to swing a leg over, and if you can see on the cutscene I put in, I'm 5'7" tall, 30-inch inside leg, and I've just about got my feet flat down. It's a bit tight, but they are pretty much down. If you're much shorter than me, say you're 5'5", you may want to get the lower seat. If you're taller, 5'10", 6 foot, this is going to be absolutely fine for you. The bike doesn't feel heavy. It's quite easy to chuck from side to side. So if you were, say, coming off a smaller bike, getting onto one of these is like a middleweight, I think it would be a really nice sort of weight and size for you. Very nice upright riding position, nice bar position. We have a cable operated clutch which has got a span adjuster, which is a nice touch. We have here, you have your flasher, high and low beam, you have your menu button that just sort of scrolls through your trips and your range and miles per gallon there, indicators, horn and hazards. Good horn. Over here we have a span adjustable front brake lever into a Nissan master cylinder, twin discs up front. You have your engine kill switch, sorry about the wind today up here, and you have your start button. So straight away you're greeted with that lovely little parallel twin that's been used in so many of the Kawasaki's, the Z650 and the Ninja 650. It's been around for quite a while, this engine, but it does the job really well. And do you know what, in this style of retro bike, it really sort of thumps away. It really suits this style of retro bike, so it's kind of just the job really, I'd say, this engine. Anyway, less of the talk, let's see how she rides. So assist and slipper clutch on this, very light clutch action, and it takes nice and early as well on the travel. So yeah, it's a very responsive little engine, quite eager, very playful, with lots of sort of low and mid-range punch, as you would expect from a twin. Cool. Revs nicely. It makes a wonderful roar from down below from the airbox. Yeah, right through that mid-range you can really hear it sort of roaring up from down below. Well, that's a good start. So the mirrors, traditional sort of affairs, nice and clear. A little bit of a view of my elbows, nothing too bad. Gearbox clutch, very slick at the moment. We'll try that out a bit in a minute. So nice clear mirrors. The dash, the dials, they're black on this bike. I do believe that they're chrome on the green model. So very nice traditional looking clocks with the needles. You can see the revs, speedo, all my gear, fuel, Temperature gauge, average miles per gallon, currently showing 69 miles per gallon. Very, very nice sort of traditional theme. So the riding position is a little tiny bit lean forward, but on the whole it's upright. Very nice position, at what you'd expect on this sort of style of bike. Bars nice and wide, sort of shoulder width apart, slightly raked back, all very comfortable. Seat comfort, seat height, you do feel like you're sort of sat on top of the bike. It is quite a tall riding position. But I've been on this bike so far for about an hour since I left the dealers. It's very, very comfortable seat, quite plush actually. So we're top gear now, plenty of top gear acceleration, very, very keen actually. 60 mile an hour, we're turning over at a very leisurely 4,500 RPM, and pleased to report at the moment no nasty vibes or anything. We will try it on a dual carriageway later on. Right, we'll just try out the brakes, full front brakes, nothing behind. Oh, they're quite strong, very strong, wow. So brakes are all good and they're still bedding in. So third gear, just going to wind it open a bit. God, what a great noise. Yeah, it's a very, very keen engine. But like I said earlier, it's kind of, it thumps quite a bit. It's got quite a bit of old school character, this engine. It's been around for quite a long time and it really suits this particular bike. So top marks there, Mr. Kawasaki. We're just going to come into a town situation on the Z650Rs. See how it just handles low speed running. Check the fueling, clutch, throttle, that sort of stuff. So we're currently here in third gear, just under 30 miles an hour, 3,000 revs just about. Fueling all feels very nice. There's no hunting, surging or any nasty things in the fueling. I mean, pretty much these days they've got it sorted now, but you do get the occasional bike that sort of surges and hunts a bit in the fueling. Can be a bit unpleasant to ride at low speed. Let's see if it takes fourth gear. Yeah, it's a bit happier in third really at 30. All the clutch action, gearbox super light. Feels very, very light to weave through any traffic that you might encounter. It's not overly wide, so if you had to go through some traffic, just do some filtering, that would be fine. Throttle response, very nice, sort of mellow sort of throttle. It's not instantaneous or snatchy, so that's just the job for doing town work. Yeah, absolutely fine. So just take it up to 40 now, fourth gear. Yeah, it's just perfect at low speed. So this would be absolutely fine, guys, if you had to do some commuting to work on, that sort of thing. So 5 stars to the 650RS for town work. Back brake, very good bit of bike there. The bike itself feels very light and playful. Very easy to flick around the bends, doesn't feel heavy at all, light and responsive. Just basic suspension on this, but again they've set it up really nicely for bumpy roads, and it's all very compliant and plush around these bends. It's not crushing at all. It's quite a nice sort of sporty handling actually. Tyres feel good. All the switch gear is nice and simple, just what you want on a bike like this really. All the horn and indicators easy to see and use. I do love these assist clutches, they are so light in operation. Gearbox is very, very light and positive. Right, so we're second gear now, going to rev it out a bit. Oh, I didn't expect it to make that noise, to be honest. It's makes a great roar from that airbox. So just revving it out through the mid-range. Oh, what a great little engine. I've forgotten how much fun these Kawasaki 650s are. It really kind of revs out through that mid-range nicely. Well, the handle's lovely. It's really nice around these bends. Lots of fun, but still, you know, if you wanted just to cruise on a sunny day with it sort of retro styling, just cruising, it would do that very well as well. So fourth gear, just a bit of roll on now. There's your 50 and there's your 60. So you can see it's got plenty of performance from its 67 horsepower. Oh, what a fun little bike. So top gear now, just rolling it on. Yes, quite impressive, that top gear acceleration. Right, so we're just on the dual carriageway now, going to try out the higher speed capability of the Z650Rs. Oh, it's windy today. So we're currently doing 70 miles an hour indicated, top gear, 6th gear, turning over quite an easy 5,500 RPM. There's no vibrations whatsoever through the bars, nothing through the seat, and all I can feel is just a little tiny slight buzz through the foot pegs, but nothing bad whatsoever. We're just opening it up in top gear. Yeah, plenty of top gear acceleration should you need it. I'm just going to drop it down the gear just to get the revs up a bit more. Yeah, no, still just that little tiny buzz through the foot pegs. So generally speaking, quite smooth for a twin. So being a naked bike, obviously it's quite windy, especially today. But I'm just leaning into the wind nicely. It's not turbulent or anything. Totally acceptable. Bike feels very, very stable considering it's not that heavy. No issues at all with that. Holding its line lovely. Just slow it down to 50 and then we'll open it up in top gear for you. It says 50, top gear, wide open. And there's your 70. So it's a very flexible engine. So yeah, no problem whatsoever, just holding 70 like this. So if you had to do quite a bit of long distance on this, no problem whatsoever. 5 stars for this for higher speed cruising. Alright, nothing behind, we just try the brakes again. Yeah, they're very impressive actually. Lots of fun. Alright, let's just slow this down a bit and just do some cruising to see what it's like. So here we are, 50 miles an hour. Nice views of the Dorset countryside here, and we're doing 4,000 revs, showing an average of 66 to the gallon. So I think Kawasaki have done well with this, kind of making this bike, you know, these sort of bikes are quite popular these days. So you've got like the modern take on a sort of a retro theme, really, which is nice. Right, slow this down to 40 and just see how it opens up in top. There's your 40, wide open throttle, 50, and there's your 60, and on it goes. I'd say this has got a top speed of around about 115, 120 mile an hour, maybe a bit more. I'm just estimating that. So suspension quality, as I said it earlier, it's just basic suspension, but it does the job absolutely fine. The seat's very wide and comfortable. It's got a nice plush suspension. So yeah, suspension's absolutely fine. The brakes are strong. The engine's very willing and keen. It's economical. Looks good. But it really does change direction nicely. It doesn't feel heavy at all. So at the moment we've got a crosswind coming from the left here, and it's holding its line very well, so that's good. Fueling all feels very nice. No riding modes on this. Throttle's very gentle and mellow. Of course, brakes are good. Going down the gearbox very easily. Dunlop tyres feel pretty decent around here. Third gear. Just winding the power on. Nice thing with this sort of amount of power is you can use a lot of it, or most of it, without getting into too much trouble. So yeah, a very impressive little middleweight retro style bike. Alright guys, we're going to wrap this up in a bit. I must admit, I've really enjoyed this. Got a lovely little engine, very keen, makes a lovely noise from the airbox in the mid-range. Very playful handling, it's great round the bends. Well priced, Kawasaki reliability, good service intervals, cheap to run. And the gearbox and clutch is really nice and light and positive. There we go. Let's just see what it's like into neutral, into first, neutral, first. That's really easy. Well, I'll just give you that all important sounds check. Very nice. Right, high beam and indicators, show you what they're like. Side stands, easy to use, nice and strong. So we've got LEDs all round on this. Yeah, lights look good. Look at that dash up close. Very impressive. Right, let's have a little final walk round, shall we? So the usual, the lovely Kawasaki build quality. Paint works lovely on it. Really dependable engine. Excellent gearbox, really nice. Basic suspension, but it does the job fine. So this isn't rust, guys, just to let you know, it's just protective grease to stop rust, that's what they put on it. I do like the swing arm shape, it's quite nice. Underslung exhaust, very nice. Oh, I did look under the seat and there's nothing under there, no storage at all. See what it's like to push off the side stand. Yeah, nice and easy, and nice and straightforward to push around if you had to move it in your garage. There you are, guys. Kawasaki Z650Rs. What do you think about that little beauty? Quite taken by that, actually. So give me a like, please, guys. Thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video around, please. And post your comments down below. What your thoughts on these sort of retro naked middleweights? I think they're really popular now, aren't they? Alright, guys, ride safe. Take care. Do another review in a week or so, and I will catch you then. Bye bye for now.